Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my October TBR, like I promised last week, except looks a little different than it normally does because today my roommate Riddhima will be picking the books that I read in October. So basically how this is all going to work is that I created a Google Slides on my iPad with some like tropes slash genres of books, and I put two different books for like that trope. For example, the first trope is sports romance, so there are two books that go with that. And I'm going to read her the synopsis of each book, and then from there and looking at the covers, she's gonna decide which book I read. So they're all books I want to read, so like it shouldn't be like, oh, I didn't want you to pick that. Like there won't be any of that because I made the, you know, two choices at the beginning, but like she gets to make that like finalized choice. So that is what we're doing in today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into the video. So, like I said for you guys basically like 5 seconds ago, the first like trope that we were doing is sports romance. So the two books that I picked were Fair Catch and Behind the Net. So Fair Catch is by Kennedy Steiner and Behind the Net is by Stephanie Archer. They are both, if I remember correctly, the first book in a sports romance series, so that'll be exciting, starting a new sports romance. But now I'm going to read her the synopsis of Fair Catch. As if things aren't already tough enough as the only girl on a college football team, Coach had to go and assign Zeke Collins as my roommate. A cocky kick returner and my brother's best friend who should have been ripped out of that title years ago. He's as infuriating as he is undeniably sexy. I hate him, and for good reason. Reasons I won't ever let him forget. He thinks because we grew up together that it's his role to protect me, but all he does is get in my way, make me look weak, and I can't say that word on YouTube, but make her mad. I tell him I can handle myself, and I'm hellbent on getting that point across to him and the rest of the nation watching the only girl in collegiate football. The pressure doesn't get to me. The scrutiny, I'm ready for it. But sharing very thin walls with Zeke Collins, I wasn't prepared for that. And the more we're forced together, the harder it is to distinguish that pencil-thin line between hating him and wanting him. Okay, so...
Also a good start.
Okay, so that's the first book. And then the second one, now I have to look it up. It's so funny reading these out. Like, I know what I'm reading, but then like actually reading the synopsis is like kind of embarrassing. Okay. He's the hot, grumpy goalie I had a crush on in high school, and now I'm his live-in assistant. Oh my goodness. See, guys, I can't even speak. Oh my god. Okay. Now I'm his live-in assistant. After my ex crushed my dreams in the music industry, I'm done with getting my heart broken. Working as an assistant for an NHL player was supposed to be a breeze, but nothing about Jamie, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, that's fine, is easy. He's an intimidatingly hot, grouchy jerk who can't stand me. The guy has a massive ego. Keeping things professional will be no problem. Even when he demands, I move in with him. Okay, girly. Beneath his You guys literally can't read. Beneath his surrealness, though, Jamie's surprisingly sweet and protective. When Jamie learns how bad my ex was in bed, his competitive nature flares, and he encourages and spoils me in every way. The creative spark I used to feel about songwriting, it's back, and I'm writing music again. Between wearing his jersey at games, rowdy parties with the team, and being brave on stage again, I'm falling for him. He could break my heart, but it might be worth it. So, those are the two books you're choosing between two. So the first one is a football romance, if you couldn't tell, and the second one, again, if you couldn't tell, is a hockey romance. So they are different sports, but...
Okay, so I choose the first book, and let me explain. I do really like the only girl on the football team thing, and also the enemies to lovers trope is stronger. And I do love a good enemies to lovers trope.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put page through that.
Okay, well, I mean, I know you may not know this about me because we only met a couple months ago, but enemies to lovers is my favorite trope, so no issue with that. Even though I feel like with romance books, enemies to lovers never really exist. It's more like hatred to lovers. Enemies to lovers is more reserved for like a mafia romance, because I feel like that can kind of actually get the enemies, or like a fantasy series, but like I still just say it because it's easier than being like hate to love, because it just sounds stupid. So okay, so the first book that I'll be reading in October is Fair Catch by Kennedy Steiner. It's the first book, and I think currently there's 4 books out. I think it's the first one in the series, which now of course I can't think of the series name. Amazon, I need your help again. They're used to this. This happens all the time. the Red Zone Rival series. Okay, so the next, like, it's not a trope, but it's, I guess, could be considered a genre, I don't know, but continuing series. So these are 2 books that are in the middle of a series that I'm currently reading. So I'm sure neither of these will be a surprise to any of you guys if you've watched previous videos. But the first book for this is Addicted After All by Krista and Becca Ritchie, which is part of the Addicted Calloway Sister series. And then Saving Six by Chloe Walsh, which is a part of the Boys of Tommen series. So let me get those up. Also, by the way, all of these books are either on Kindle Unlimited, so that I can read them on my Kindle if I don't have them in person with me, or I bought them on Kindle Unlimited, but that's fine, we don't have to talk about that.
Oh wait, is the Addicted for You one the one that you got like the special editions for?
Like, you mean the ones where I bought like recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
But like I said, don't pick off based off pick off when you hear the. Okay. Now some of this might be confusing to you because you're like,
yeah,
it's the middle of a series, and also for this section, if you haven't read either of these books, like, or haven't gotten to this part of the series, or you want to read it, you might want to skip past this because this could technically have spoilers in the synopsis. I can't help that. So the first book is Addicted After All, which is, sorry, the first part was talking about TikTok sensation. Ignore that. Prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. That's what Lily Calloway and Lauren Hill try to do when his father schedules an important meeting. The problem after being swept into the public eye and battling their addictions, they're not sure what the worst is anymore. In a sea of many changes, including Reich and Daisy living with them, Lily realizes that the best part of her fluctuating hormones might be the worst. Her sex drive is out of control. Lauren knows that she's insatiable, but he's not going to give up on her. She's too much a part of him, and as he carries more and more responsibility, some of the people that he loves doubt his resolve. Lily and Lo stand side by side to fight one last time for their happily ever after. So, just to help you understand this,
I was gonna say there are like 10 different characters.
Yeah. Well, they're actually not characters. Okay, so Lily and Lo are the first couple you meet in this series. Lily is a sex addict and Lo is a alcoholic.
Classic,
so they both have
classic.
addictions. Not classics at all, but okay.
No, I was saying that sarcastically.
But they have 5 books in the mixed series because I was explaining this to you the other day. So the Addicted series is one series and the Calloway Sister series is one series, but they're all like interconnected, and so the authors have just kind of made it one big series. So this is their last book in the series, like, of coming from their point of view.
Ooh, the last book.
And that's coming from their point of view. There's more after, but they come from other characters' point of views. And so Reich and Daisy, again, spoilers, if you have not read skip. Okay. Reich is Lauren's brother. Daisy, I'm gonna say this and you're like, Paige, Daisy is Lily's sister. But Lauren and Reich did not grow up as brothers, if that helps understand why this isn't as weird. But I think that's all you really need to know, because they didn't mention the other 2 characters in the synopsis, even though I know they'll show up. But again, this one might be harder for you to pick because you don't know as much, but that's fine. This can be maybe based off the cover.
That's the exciting.
But now I'm going to read her the synopsis of Saving Six. So if you have not read this series, please skip along. I'm sorry, I hate, having to make people skip along, but it's just kind of... Can we work, iPad? Thank you. Okay. Also, for this one, the first 2 books in the series, which I read because this is the 3rd one, were about one couple, and then this book and the one after it, which are the ones currently out, are about a different couple. So this will be a start of a new couple. He's a boy made of fire, and he's about to meet his match. The second son in a broken marriage, Joey Lynch has spent a lifetime picking up the pieces of an unraveling family. When his older brother skips town, 12-year-old Joey finds himself thrown into the role of protector to his mother and younger siblings. Plagued by self-loathing and furious with the world, soon he finds himself teetering precautiously close to a life of addiction that threatens to swallow him whole. The only light in his dark seas is Aoife, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I've seen multiple pronunciations. I don't know which one's correct, so bear with me. His boss is... Guys, literally, why is it so bad? I always mess up in videos, but it's like 10 times worse today. Okay. His boss's firecracker daughter, his classmate, and soon something far more complicated. Aoife, Affy, however you pronounce it, has always moved forward, not backwards. Bubbly, strong, and self-assured, she's never feared being led astray even by her own heart. That is, until her first day of secondary school, when she collides with a hot-headed boy who sparks a burning curiosity inside of her that only grows stronger by the day. But their friendship is tangled and complex, full of unwinding secrets and feelings simmering beneath the surface. Aphie, again, I feel like I'm not saying it right, but I heard someone say it that way, so I don't know, wants to let Joey in. Joey desperately fights to keep her out, but even if it takes years, what's between them is bound to combust. Okay.
They're both, like, way more intense than I expected.
Oh no, they're both very, like, heartbreaking, deep, emotional character development, found family stories. So, this is called Make Paige Cry section. That's what both of these books are.
Glad that I get to control that part of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see it enough anyways, so.
Okay, but I am gonna go with Addicted for You because it is called Addicted.
Addicted After All.
Addicted After All. Just because, one, I feel like the cover's prettier. But also, like, I was just more interested in what was going on in that book. Like, the premise of the characters, not something I've heard before.
Also, a fun fact. New Jersey. That's
where obviously, she just had to tell me that.
But do you want to know where in New Jersey?
Where?
Princeton.
Yeah. This is close to home. This is literally in home. Anyways, okay. That's the choice.
I didn't want to tell you that though first
that one
because
didn't
I was
even have
like,
a chance. Like,
I mean, it has like they go like different places, but that's one of the ones that they
New
go
Jersey
to a lot.
Pride.
Okay. So the next book that I will be reading on my let's not get about ourselves here. The next book that I'm putting on my October TBR that I'm hoping to read is Addicted After All. I won't lie, it's very likely that I will read that next month. Let's just put it that way. And you'll find out why later in the week or next week when I post my next video. Okay, so the next genre that we are doing are fantasy books. So I have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross and The Serpent and the Wings of the Night. Yeah. No, it's of night. See, that doesn't make sense. There should be whatever.
Wait, can I see it?
It's The Serpent and the Wings of Night. But I feel like it should be
Where
of the night.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's hard to read.
Right, exactly.
That's not even your fault anymore.
No, I know. You're right. It's not my fault. Exactly.
Paige
It's
is
not
the
my. It's.
problem. Paige is not the
I'm
problem.
not the problem. Okay. Okay. So first is Divine Rivals. Okay. When two young rival journalists find love through a magical connection, they must face the depths of hell and a war among gods to seal their fate forever. After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring? Okay, I don't think I've actually ever seen the word warring. Are warring again, but 18-year-old Iris Winnow just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction, and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette. To combat her worries, Iris writes letters to her brother and slips them beneath her wardrobe door, where they vanish, into the hands of Roman Kit, her cold and handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will follow Iris all the way to the front lines of battle for her brother, the fate of mankind and love. Also, before I continue and before you give your opinions, I already had a prediction with these two books on which one she's going to pick, so I'm curious if I'm right about that. And I'm sure she knows exactly which one I'm talking about because I feel like she knows me pretty well. But we'll see. Who knows? Okay. I can already see, I'm not going to lie. This book, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, I have read the back of before once, but like not recently, and I'm already looking at it and there's already names that I'm not gonna be able to pronounce correctly, so just when I say them wrong, don't attack me in the comments about it. Okay. For humans and vampires, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king, Oriya, carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy amongst the vicious warriors. For all three vampire houses to survive, Oriya is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Raheen? Maybe. I don't know. Is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire and an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Oriya most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the House of Night brews. Okay, that's why it's okay. See, things are connecting right now. Shattering everything that Oriya thought she knew about her home, and Rain may understand her more than anyone, but their blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. So,
There was too much going on in that one.
Okay, so do you pick Divine Rivals? Is that what you're saying? Okay,
Yeah.
I assume she probably would pick Divine Rivals anyways, because I feel like, as she said earlier, she really likes the Enemies to Lovers trope, and it kind of has that vibe. And also, like, I know you like to write, and so, like, the journalist aspect, I knew that was gonna,
like,
yeah.
The newspaper and the letters,
Yeah,
too.
I knew that, yeah.
I would honestly read
And
that.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of biasly put it against something that was new interest in me, but, like, I've wanted to read Divine Rivals for a while, so.
Also, the title automatically.
Also, the cover, I think, is just really pretty, so.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, that's really nice.
That's just me, so.
And that one's just designed to make you feel, like, insane. So.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, most people I have seen, like, on TikTok and Instagram, and not, like, every single person that loved this would do that or whatever, but a lot of people are saying that if you loved Fourth Wing, which you all know I have a very, very unhealthy obsession with. But is it unhealthy? I feel like it is, but it's not. I think it's great. Have I reread it? Like, it's fine, whatever.
Who would?
But no, right, exactly. But most people say that Divine Rivals either, like, got them out of a reading slump after reading Fourth Wing because it was just so good that nothing was comparing, so they kind of got in a reading slump. Or if you didn't get put in a reading slump, but you're struggling to, like, find books that make you feel that same way, they were saying Divine Rivals did that, so that's why I'm really intrigued by it. Because I'm like, okay, well, I feel like nothing can beat Fourth Wing, except maybe Iron Flame when it comes out, but, like, we'll see. But I don't know, like, could Divine Rivals take, who knows? I doubt it. I really doubt it, because there aren't dragons in Divine Rivals, but maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Oh, I want a dragon so bad. So, like, literally all I want is a dragon. Like, it's just not funny. Like, my whole life, I've just been obsessed with dragons, and then this book came out. Okay.
No, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Dragons are just really cool. Which is why I'm so surprised you haven't watched How to Train Your Dragon.
No, I told you, when I got my tonsils out when I was, like going into second grade, I tried to watch it right after the surgery, and I passed out right after because I was so exhausted and I was in so much pain, and I just never went back to it. But I've seen clips, and, like, I love Toothless. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like for me, like, the movies that are for younger kids, if I didn't watch them when I was younger, I don't really watch them now. I feel like that's kind of my thing.
I can't relate.
Except for Paw Patrol. Except for Paw Patrol. Because if you don't know, which none of you probably do because I don't talk about it a lot, but I love Paw Patrol. I don't care if y'all think I'm weird. I love Paw Patrol. Anyways, Marshall and Zuma are my favorite, if anyone wanted to know. Okay, anyways. Okay, so our next trope is dark romance, because can't go any month without not putting a dark romance on mine. Those are just always so fun for me. So the first book I have is Twisted by Emily McIntyre, which is the 4th book, I think, in the Never After series. It's not her most recent release. Crossed is her most recent release, but I haven't read Twisted yet, so that's why Crossed is not on here. And then Haunting Adeline. I know I may have put that on my TBR for September, but I did not read it in September. I think I'm just really nervous to get into it. You'll see why, Riddhima.
I feel like you already want to pick it to, like, force you to read it.
It's so fun. What can I say? I've just heard so many things, so many good things and so many bad things, and so many I don't even know how I feel things about that book that I generally don't. I just don't know. So the first book that I'm gonna read to her is Twisted. She's his diamond in the rough. He's her worst nightmare. Yasmin Karam, daughter to one of the richest men in the world, has never known strife. So when her beloved father falls ill, she's determined to make his final days his happiest. His last wish, to see her married to a man of his choosing. Except Yasmin's heart already belongs to someone else, a servant, a street rat, a man her father would never consider worthy. Stuck between oh my. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Just talk about how they call the servant the street rat.
Yeah, hold on. But I have to explain something after if you don't catch it. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, Yasmin strikes a desperate deal with her father's right-hand man, Julian, not realizing he has his own twisted agenda. Get it? Twisted? Okay, sorry. Julian Farchi? I don't know how to pronounce that last name correctly, so if it's wrong, again, I'm sorry. Has one goal, become the most powerful man in the world. He's built a future from broken bones and faded bruises, never caring who he hurt along the way. But when his mentor falls ill, he finds himself on the verge of losing everything, and he'll stop at nothing to inherit what is rightfully his, even if it means forcing a woman he can't stand into marriage. Yasmin is a brat who speaks out of turn, and he's the villain of her story. But he decides she'll be his no matter what it takes to convince her. Now let me read this little thing that may also help you because, I don't know, does any of that sound kind of familiar to anything you've ever watched before, or?
No.
A girl falling in love with a street rat.
Oh.
Her father's ill. His right-hand man, who's evil, is trying to get with her.
I see the familiarity, but I can put a name
Let me. Twisted is a dark contemporary romance, not fantasy or a literal retelling, and the fourth complete standalone in the Never After series, a collection of fractured fairy tales inspired by our favorite villains. It features mature themes and content that may be suitable for all readers. Reader discretion is advised. Detailed trigger warning can be found on the author's website. Again, any of these dark romance books, search up trigger warnings. I mean, I'm sorry, I feel like at this point, if I say dark romance, that should just be a given, but some people won't, so. This is a not literal retelling. It's a fractured fairy tale of, I'm pretty sure, Aladdin.
Ah.
Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
very interesting.
There was that one, and then Haunting Adeline, which I really hope that's the first one, because, okay, it is. Because that'd be really embarrassing if I was like, actually, that's the second one, hold on, let me get the first one. Because it's Haunting and Hunting. So it's so, I get them confused all the time, but it is Haunting first. Okay. Okay. The Manipulator. I can manipulate the emotions of anyone who lets me. I will make you hurt, make you cry, make you laugh and sigh. But my words don't affect him, especially not when I plead for him to leave. He's always there, watching and waiting, and I can never look away. Not when I want him to come closer. The shadow. Like, do you see how it's separated?
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say.
I didn't mean to fall in love, but now that I have, I can't stay away. I'm mesmerized by her smile, by her eyes, and the way she moves, the way she undresses, ... I'll keep watching and waiting until I can make her mine, and once she is, I'll never let her go, not even when she begs me to. So, yeah. I feel like that doesn't give you a whole lot.
I kind of like it, though. It's, like, mysterious.
Yeah.
Okay, putting aside everything you said about Haunting Adeline, I kind of really like the description. It seems, like, toxic, but in an interesting to read way.
Okay. So
yeah,
you want that
actually,
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the next book on my TBR for October will be Haunting Adeline. Again, I will try. My goal is always to try to read all the books on my TBR, but, like, I literally don't think that's ever happened. I think I've gotten really close, but, like, I actually don't think that's ever happened. And again, I'm in school, and I'm doing so much reading for so many of my classes that, like, sometimes it's not even that I don't want to read, but I physically just, like, it's so late by the time I finish reading for all my other classes that, like, my brain is like, I can't look at more words and comprehend things. So we'll see how far I get, but again, that's a hope. All right, so for our final, like, little, like, section of books, tropes, I don't know how to describe it. You all understand what I mean. Is these are 2 books from authors that I have read before. So I haven't read these books, but I have read other books by the author and really enjoyed the books. Now, I already warned her that she's going to see an author on this list. And she's going to think of something. And if she doesn't recognize it, I'll be happy. But if she does recognize it, I also think I'll be mad, because, like, she should recognize it. But whatever. Basically, I told her not to just pick what she thinks I may want to read. I generally want her to pick based off what sounds more interesting to her. So, the first book I have is oh my goodness, Paige. It's literally the title of the book. Okay.
You're doing great.
Thank you. It's been a long day, I had to get up early today. Okay. Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, which is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. I read the first one in August. I'm not going to say if I liked it or not, because I don't want that to affect her thing or not. And The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros.
Fourth wing.
There you go. But like I said...
I mean, you're literally meeting her in person. Like,
I know.
How could I not?
I know. I didn't actually tell them that.
Oh.
Long story short, I got tickets to go to a book signing that she's going to be at, so I get to meet her in November, and she's going to sign a copy of Iron Flame, and then I think it said that we can bring, like, 2 extra books for her to sign, so I'll be bringing my copy of Fourth Wing, and either another copy of Fourth Wing that I have, or I might have my sister ship me her book, because she also read Fourth Wing, and I may get her to sign that one. But I haven't made a decision yet. But that literally has no effect on you guys, so that's fine. Let's get into reading these synopses. Now I have 2. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Oh, all right, then.
Okay, I don't know. Apparently my iPad has a mind of its own.
First the Kindle, now the iPad.
Yeah, that was really weird. My Kindle turned on by itself the other day. I mean, literally, I picked it up and it turned. I don't want to talk about it. There's definitely a ghost in our dorm, so
yeah.
Okay. So it's similar to like the last one. So it's like the character name and the character name. So Declan, who is the guy, I'm destined to become the next CEO of my family's media empire. The only problem, my grandfather's inheritance clause. Fulfilling his dying wish of getting married and having an heir seemed impossible until my assistant volunteers for the job. Our marriage was supposed to be the perfect solution to my biggest problem. But the more we act in love for the public, the more unsure I feel about our contract. Caring about Iris was never part of the deal, especially not when breaking her heart is inevitable. And then Iris, who's the girl. My plan to marry Declan was simple in theory. Move in together, throw a wedding, have a baby. We set rules to prevent any kind of issues, ones that were never meant to be broken, no matter how much Declan tempts me. But what happens when our fake relationship bleeds into our real one? Falling in love was never an option, at least not for me. So to make this make sense a little bit more, because you didn't read the first one, and again, I forgot to say this earlier, so sorry, but hopefully you were able to take it upon yourself, since it's the second one. But I feel like it doesn't really spoil anything that happens in the first one. Yeah. Basically, the first one, at the beginning, you find out that these three brothers, so there's 3 books in this, like, trilogy, and each book is about a brother. When their grandfather died, he left them an inheritance, but they have to do something to get that inheritance, and so for him, it's that he has to have an heir. Which, I don't know why, just because you're rich, you have to call your kid an heir? No. But whatever, that's besides the point. We love Lauren Asher, so we don't really question things that she writes. Did anything else need clarification? No. Okay. And then,
I mean, out of curiosity, what was the condition in the first book for the first brother?
He had to, like, what was the word? Basically, like, he had to kind of, like, run the company. Oh. And, like, he had to come up with a project that, like, basically, their grandfather ran Disney World in this world. It's not actually called Disney, but, like, that's basically what it is. Yeah. And so he had to, like, come up with, like, a new project and stuff.
Interesting.
And then The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. They're very, like, different. So, like, a lot of them a lot of the books so far maybe had, like, some similarities. I feel like these two are probably the most different of the comparisons. Okay, so it's set up like a letter. So, Beckett, if you're reading this, well, you know the last letter drill. You made it. I didn't. Get off the guilt train, because I know if there was any chance you could have saved me, you would have. I need one thing from you. Get out of the army and get to Telluride? I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I also don't feel like there's any way else that you could have pronounced that, so. My little sister Ella's raising the twins alone. She's too independent and won't accept help easily, but she has lost our grandmother, our parents, and now me. It's too much for anyone to endure. It's not fair. And here's the kicker. There's something else you don't know that's tearing her family apart. She's going to need help. So if I'm gone, that means I can't be there for Ella. I can't help them through this, but you can. So I'm begging you, as my best friend, go take care of my sister, my family. Please don't make her go through this alone. Ryan.
Okay, I swear I'm not just saying this because of Rebecca Yarros.
But you're gonna pick that one? Yeah. Yay! Okay, see, I did want her to pick that one,
like,
because...
Like, the first one I've seen before, you know?
Yeah.
It's like fake relationship, and then you fall in love.
Well, the last book that's going on my TBR is The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I, again, can't promise that I'll read all of them, nor can I promise that I'll read any of them. Like, things happen, but obviously, as someone who loves reading, which is why I do this, not reading a book a month would probably kill me. So, definitely planning on it. Just want to put that out there. Definitely planning on it. Okay, guys, that is our video for today. Well, my video for today, but it was kind of our video for today. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see any more videos with Riddhima, you can comment that down below. I'm sure I can talk her into it.
No, this was fun. This was fun, yeah. Guys. I was not forced to do this. I came here voluntarily.
Yes, she was not forced.
Yeah.
I do want to make that clear. It was not forceful. I just mean, like, at first when I brought up the idea, you were like, I don't know if I want to be on camera, and then you were like, no, I'm fine with it. But just a little recap, the books that are on my TBR for October, Fair Catch by Kennedy Steiner, Addicted After All by Krista and Becca Ritchie, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, Twisted by Emily McIntyre, and The Last Letter, Haunting Adeline, Not Twisted, and The Last Letter by Becky Arrows. So those are the 5 books that will be on my October TBR. My September reading wrap-up should come out, depending on when I post this, it could be a couple days after. But if I get this posted earlier, then it'll probably be like a weekish from now. Early October, I normally post it just because I don't like to film it until September ends. Like, because sometimes you finish a book on the last day of a month. So I just, like, I don't want to miss putting a book in that is supposed to be in the reading wrap-up. So just bear with me with that like I normally do. Again, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. If you have video ideas that you would like to see from me, whether it's just me or me and Riddhima, you guys can put that.
Guys, you love me. Come on.
You guys can put that in the comments down below. My book Instagram account will be in the description below if you guys would like to follow that. I hope you all have a great day and are, you know, doing well, happy, all of those great things. I will see you guys next week. Hope you have a great day. Bye!